Imagine for a moment that everything that happens to you today, both joys and difficulties, is not a random coincidence. It is a reflection of the vibrations that each person radiates into the world, often without even realizing it. The life we live is a mirror of what we send out into the universe. Think about it. How many times have you felt heaviness in your soul for no apparent reason? How many times have you woken up feeling exhausted, as if someone invisible had taken your energy? And at the same time, there have been moments when, for no apparent reason, you felt lightness, inspiration, and an inner glow that changed even the air around you. Can this be explained solely by psychology or biology? Perhaps there is a much deeper law behind it. After all, if everything in the world has its own vibration, then every thought, every emotion, every action is a wave that spreads into space and inevitably returns, and then it becomes clear. The undesirable situations, pain, or obstacles that a person encounters are not always fate or bad luck. It may just be the result of an energy imbalance. Pay attention to how your body reacts in different environments, in places where dissatisfaction, quarrels, or pessimism prevail. The heart begins to beat faster, thoughts become confused, and lightness disappears. Conversely, in a space of prayer, surrounded by inspiring music or people who radiate joy and gratitude, you feel your energy expanding, even if the day itself remains unchanged. This is resonance, an invisible field that constantly influences each of us. And here the inevitable question arises. If we are so easily influenced by external vibrations, what remains of our free will? Are we just leaves carried by the wind, or do we still have the ability to control this process? The truth is that if a person does not learn to control their own frequency, they will always fluctuate under the pressure of their environment, like a boat helplessly drifting in rough waters. And this is where the greatest danger lies, believing that life depends entirely on others, on circumstances or accidents. In reality, it is only a reaction to the signals that we ourselves unconsciously transmit to the world. To live without understanding this means to be bound by invisible chains. Awareness is the first step toward breaking these chains. Every person has the potential to be a powerful energy field that cannot be weakened by anything external. But this state can only be achieved through mindfulness and inner discipline. Think about it. Aren't you tired of the ups and downs of life when you don't understand why everything is falling apart? Isn't it time to admit that if everything in the world vibrates, then you need to learn to tune your own wave? We have all noticed this many times. One perfect day can be ruined by a single piece of bad news. Conversely, an amazing encounter can happen just because you smiled sincerely at the right moment. These may seem like trifles, but they are what open or close doors. This is no coincidence. It is the subtle mathematics of vibrations. It does not forgive distraction, but it generously rewards those who dare to learn its language. So it is worth asking yourself honestly, what vibration have you been maintaining lately? This is a much more subtle process than simply repeating positive words or holding optimistic thoughts. It is about harmony, about inner integrity, which is born when feelings, thoughts, and actions are in harmony with each other. Because where there is contradiction, the energy field is destroyed. If you don't like what you're getting, change what you're giving. The person of the future will undoubtedly realize this law and begin to use it not only to transform their own life, but also to change the entire civilization. For it is in vibration that the key to a new humanity lies, one that is capable of interacting with the universe consciously and harmoniously. Yes, these words may be unpleasant. You may feel inner resistance, but it is precisely in this discomfort that true transformation is born. For truth does not come to calm us down, but to awaken us. And if you are reading these lines now, know that it is no coincidence. It is your own field that is responding. It is your inner vibration that is resonating. Life always gives us new understanding, and if we ignore it, we return to the same vicious circle. When a higher frequency enters our field, we always have only two options: to resist it and remain as we were, or to allow it to change every detail of our existence. Perhaps it is this choice that becomes the turning point that determines the further path, because a person is not just a body of flesh and bones. It is a living antenna, a vibrational station that constantly transmits and receives energy. And although this idea once seemed strange, today it is confirmed by science, psychology, and spiritual experience. We influence everything around us, and at the same time are influenced by everything that surrounds us. At every moment, our energy field intertwines with the fields of other people, the environment, objects, and even thoughts pulsating in the collective subconscious. Nothing escapes this process. Each of us is like a light bulb in a huge electrical network, emitting frequencies that either illuminate the surroundings or extinguish the light. Imagine a simple scene. You wake up in a good mood, full of energy and inspiration. It seems that the day promises to be bright, but suddenly, in the morning, someone brings you bad news or starts complaining. And in just a few minutes, your energy level drops sharply. You did nothing to cause this. You did not want to take on this burden, but it entered you. Why did this happen? Because you tuned into someone else's field. It's like two strings on a guitar. If you touch one, the other starts to sound on its own, even without direct contact. The vibration of one body causes the vibration of another tuned to the same frequency. The same thing happens with the soul, and vice versa. Have you ever walked into a room filled with joy, singing, and laughter? Even if you were tired or disappointed, your energy gradually began to rise, and you felt new strength flowing into you. You left feeling lighter, inspired, as if you had received an invisible charge. This is inevitable, because frequencies resonate both downward and upward. This raises an important question. If everything around us influences us, who really controls our lives, us or the world? This is one of the most dangerous traps of existence. Most people live as an echo of their surroundings. If it is heavy, they become heavy. If it is light, they become light. But rarely does anyone think, what if I myself can be a transmitter, not just a receiver? Imagine another scene. Everyone in the workplace is tense, arguing, complaining, and suddenly a calm, balanced, smiling person enters who is not susceptible to negativity. Their state gradually begins to change the atmosphere around them, even without any words or effort. The conversations subside, people breathe easier, and the tension gradually dissipates. No words, no pressure, just echoes. The elevated vibrations of one person begin to reprogram the collective field. This hidden power is within everyone. However, we do not always allow it to act. Too often, we allow foreign frequencies to influence us more than our own. That is why we become vulnerable, unstable, dependent. One harsh word can ruin the whole day. One contemptuous glance can shake our confidence. A wave of pessimism in the news can rob us of hope. Isn't it obvious how open we are to the chaos of external signals? It's as if our internal antenna is constantly picking up random, unfiltered, unconscious vibrations. As a result, we live alienated from our own power. But living as a slave to external vibrations is a waste of energy. Human consciousness is capable of becoming a field that does not allow low vibrations to pass through, and at the same time, a light that attracts opportunities, people, and events that resonate with the frequency of love, abundance, and development. And here arises an alarming question. If our thoughts, emotions, and intentions are indeed waves that return to us in an amplified form, then what kind of waves are we constantly emitting? Are we aware of the invisible flow that we ourselves launch into the universe? The universe, like a mirror, never deceives. It does not respond to our words or beautiful promises. It is only interested in the purity of who we really are, not what we desire. but what we breathe when we are alone with ourselves. This is the deepest law of vibration. Everything pulsates, everything transmits, everything responds. And if you want to see your tomorrow, look at the waves your heart sends out. Today. This is where a new level of awareness is born. Life ceases to be a random set of events and appears as a mirror reflection of inner states. It's like music. Each note attracts the next, creating a melody that either uplifts or weighs you down. So the question sounds simple, but it cuts to the core. What music is your soul playing today? If you realize that you are already radiating reality around you right now, then a natural question arises. How can you learn to consciously control this flow? The answer is simpler than it seems. Your breath, your thoughts, your words, and your feelings are the levers of adjustment. The secret is not in fighting low vibrations, but in gently raising them. How can this be done? Gratitude instantly changes the frequency. Calm breathing stabilizes the field. You are already the source. The only question is what kind of flow you emit. And when you begin to control this flow, you will understand the universe has always been on your side. It was just waiting for you to speak to it in the language of vibrations. ****.